Hi, welcome back to the shop. We just returned from our camping squirrel hunt with the grandson, son-in-law. I call it a squirrel hunt because we walked through the woods with a gun looking for squirrel. We were with a 5-year-old who had never been on anything like that. He absolutely loved the experience. But we didn't get any hunting done. Never fired a shot. Never saw a squirrel. Saw a lot of evidence of squirrel. Even found a squirrel tail that was the result of some unfortunate squirrel meeting its demise, probably to an owl or a hawk. But we had a great time. The grandson said he only wants to camp there and he wants to go back. So we call it a success. Success. It got me thinking, though, about in the future, what will he hunt with? I think the smallest or the smaller calibers are absolutely essential for getting a young person involved in hunting. I don't think deer hunting is the thing you cut a child's teeth on, in my opinion. I grew up chasing squirrels, rabbits, that kind of thing. And I think that's the way it needs to be done with most kids. So, the algorithm of YouTube, it never lies. It gives you things you want to see. And for some reason, the algorithm kicked out a video for me of this guy restoring a H&R 410 shotgun. Got me to thinking. I dug through a cabinet that I keep some old guns in, and I came across a dilapidated 410. It's not an H&R. It is a Diamond Arms Company of St. Louis. Patent date 1913. This gun was probably made by the Stevens Firearm Company and sold as a hardware store gun in the early probably, there's no serial number on it, at least that I can find. It was probably made in the soon after 1913, probably early 1920s, probably saw service through the Depression. Now, my mom and I are at a disagreement as to who this gun belonged to. I say it belonged to a great uncle of mine. His name was Clyde Delphone. He was probably the closest thing to a sportsman that we could find in our family. They were just farmers during the Depression, dirt poor, but he did have some guns. He did do some hunting. He even had hunting dogs. So I hypothesize that this gun was probably his. My mom says it wasn't, but she has some other loss of recollection of some other things along that line. I mean, she's almost 90, so she's excused from having a crystal clear memory. So anyway, this gun has a lot wrong with it. It would be shorter for me to tell you what's right with it. Here's what's right with it. No. It does, the thing I will say for it, it's a break action single shot 410. I would say that the barrel and action lock up like a bank vault. There's no wobble, nothing. But other than that, and it probably was even fired even up until whenever, even in the condition it is currently in. It was probably used, the greatest fault mechanically that I can find with it. The extractor is basically gone. It's been wore down and it has no extractor part left to it. It is wore considerably. Now, you could still shoot it more than likely like this. I did actually I didn't shoot it, but I bought a box of 410 shells, 2.5 inch. Don't want to push it to the 3. And they do fit down in it perfectly. And the I'm assuming that you could shoot it. You could then pry the empty out, put a new one in. The firing pin does not rebound like it should. I don't know if this particular one has a spring or whether it's purely inertia driven. I'll have to tear into that. But I think, now let me show you the gun, just to show you. And I do have it apart because I wanted to get a look at that extractor because I'm trying to find one. You can't find anything diamond arms related, but you can find something that is Stevens related. And I found a Stevens firing pin for, I think, a model 94. It does have in parentheses, modification may be required. That's okay if I can make it work. But I've got the firing pin out. But I tore it apart. This is the receiver. I've already got the stock bolt out, but I can't get it off until I cut all this tape and wire. There feels to be baling wire underneath it, some kind of wire. This is such a common occurrence in these guns that it breaking at the wrist that it's, you know, I'm not even going to try to salvage it. It is cracked along this line right here. It's missing wood here, and it's cracked here. So this is going to get replaced. A friend of mine has a sawmill. He has some walnut, some 4/8 Walmart 4/8. It's 2 inches wide. It's 8/4. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's 8/4 walnut. I'm going to make a new stock for it. It is mechanically, like I say, it's got a fairly robust hammer spring on it. This firing pin creates a problem, but we'll get into that. The barrel is relatively bright. It's rusted, but I'm going to rust it, derust it, card it, and then re-blue it. I've got the extractor out. I've got the extractor spring out, and I've got the little component that causes it to, I don't know what it's called, but I basically have the barrel part. It's ready to clean and derust and then re-blue. This piece, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to keep it to give it some character or whether I want to replace it. I'm kind of thinking I want to replace it and have it match the piece of walnut that I put on the back. The trigger guard has some mismatched screw that's holding it on. It doesn't even seat all the way because it's a pan head, and so that's all wonky. But other than that, like I say, the takedown lever or the braking lever, good strong spring. It locks up, as I said, like a bank vault. I have no issues with shooting the thing once I get it back together. I think especially just using 2.5 inch loads. So, anywho, that's our project. I'm going to get it started. I've got the video put together on the squirrel hunt. It's to me, it's precious just because, like I say, my grandson. I think you'll enjoy it too. But let's go along with this. This will probably be a long and drawn out affair, just because, you know, like I say, finding parts for a diamond arms company I can't do it. So I'm just going to have to find the right Stevens model and run with that. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's a cute little gun. It has no value whatsoever. I think it has sentimental value. My mom argues with me about that. She thinks my dad picked it up at some flea market or something. He might have. tells a good story. And as the line from the man who shot Liberty Valance,
This is the West, sir. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend. He's right, Rance.
we're going with the legend. Thanks. We'll see you. And hopefully you'll come along for this little adventure. Thank you, and thank you. We'll talk to you later.